Hello and welcome to Cycle Signs, your intuitive snapshot of now. I'm your host, Michelle Dupree. Before we dive into what the cycle is about, let's take a look at where we've been. With the summer came two interesting phenomena, an increase of light and an increase of earthquake activity. Both have been pivotal in shaping our realities. First, the solar activity has amplified exponentially. We have been deluged in the last several months with plasma bursts and coronal mass ejections from the sun, all of which are evidenced by many geophysicists, and the fact that the aurora borealis is being seen further south than normal. And if you've been feeling heightened sensitivity, this is why. This increase in light is really part of a larger increase in frequency and vibration that we are all taking in at this time as we move from third dimension into fourth dimension, higher being. We're literally just being deluged with light to amplify us. I always liken it to the concept of, if you've ever seen this, when they put sand on a metal plate and they run frequencies and vibrations through it, tones. And that sand, when it reaches a certain tone, will reach a certain geometric pattern. And then when they turn it up to amplify and the tone and get a different frequency, everything first goes into chaos. The sand goes back to randomness. And then when it reaches that tone, it amplifies out into a higher geometry. The lower frequencies are lower, squares and circles. By the time you amplify into higher frequencies, you're getting, tetrahedrons, dodecahedrons, these really complex geometries. That is what's going on with us. The sun is amplifying us in that way. Unfortunately, that also brings out any impurities in our lives, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, which is why so many people right now are in difficult times. So when you feel tension or struggle right now, remember, it's light working through you. Let it purify, not discourage. But that's not the only factor that we've been under, because remember, I said there's two factors. The other are earthquakes. We have been experiencing exponential earthquakes on the planet as well. Think Mount Rainier even had 400 times the amount of earthquakes than they're used to. But that's the point, is that we're seeing more activity within our foundations. It's being churned up from the core, the center of the earth. And all of our foundations are shaking, and we've not had stability for quite some time. This is the cycle that we've been in. On a symbolic level, these quakes represent the upending of old foundations. And they push us to dig deep, uncover hidden truths, and reconnect with our ancient wisdom. In fact, look at what NASA just announced. They have officially found life on Mars. The fact that this information is coming out now is significant. It's a reminder that knowledge from the past is resurfacing, asking us to integrate it now in the ways we want today. So ask yourself, what foundations in my life need restructuring? What old wisdom am I ready to bring forward and institute in my life? And with that, let's talk about the cycle we're coming into. We're going to be moving into the fall, which honestly is really going to be more like spring. Fall is spring and rebirth is in motion. With the incoming light and the ending of old foundations, it's as if we're infants being reborn again. And rebirth, in the cyclical sense, always happens in the spring, simply because the energy of spring is ripe for ideas, wonder, imagination, playfulness, as if everything is possible, because it is. Just as new discoveries are being made on Mars, you are making new discoveries within yourself. You are being born anew with increased light and the need to create authentic foundations. So trust that your rebirth is guided. You're not starting over empty. You're starting over full of experience. And you know what they say about hindsight. So take what you've learned about yourself from the past and decide what you want those things to be going forward. Which brings us to what you can do to make the most of this cycle. Well, you want to be setting new intentions for yourself. You don't want those intentions to be based on the past. The past at this time is really no longer relevant. Only what you do going forward with what you've learned from the past is what matters. So before setting your intentions for what you want, maybe take a little time to contemplate what needs to be different. Do you need a different career? Do you need a different attitude about a situation? Do you need to change a behavior within yourself that's no longer serving you? This is the time to be honest with yourself and ask, where is my personal work at this time? And then be willing to dig in and to reassess. Luckily, you're going to have a few weeks of time to contemplate where your work is before you actually get to your intention setting process, thanks to the recent eclipse. Eclipses, particularly moon eclipses, are a time of going inward, not making big outward decisions necessarily. Unless you've been in the process of creating something and you need to make decisions, then do what you need to do. But think about resting, not being active over the next 3 weeks until we do get to the fall cycle. And just be contemplative. Look at where your work is and decide, how are you going to approach those issues differently? And then when we come out of the eclipses, there's another one at the end of the month, you can get ready to set intentions to take advantage of that spring rebirth energy. And you can plant seeds for what you want to see differently in your life. And the real beauty of it is that we are in the fall. And so you're also going to be able to reap your rewards immediately. As you change an attitude, change behavior, and you watch and see what happens in your reality, you're going to notice a shift. You're going to notice things are different, more amenable to what it is you're wanting. But here's a trick to setting intentions so that you can see more success with those. I liken it to what Greg Braden always says about how Native Americans don't pray for rain, they pray rain. So do you see the difference there? When you're praying rain, you're absorbed in it, you're feeling it, you're living the rain, and then circumstances come to rain. But when you're going, I hope it rains, I hope it rains, I hope it rains, what are you really saying there? What you're really saying is, we don't have rain, we don't have rain, we don't have rain. So you don't pray for it, you pray it. Be what you want. Feel it. In every fiber of your being, live your life as if your intention is already real. That's the key, that's the trick when setting intentions. Now, that's not to say they're always going to work out in your favor, because sometimes we need our lessons and we need to grow, and our soul also has its understanding of what we need here. So don't get hard on yourself if not everything happens exactly the way you want it to. But practice these really great rules for intention setting and watch and see how things change. So be both playful and intentional, like a child planting seeds in fresh soil. This cycle is about light, rebirth, and alignment. Release what no longer serves you, set your intentions, and let synchronicity guide your next steps. Thank you for tuning in to Cycle Signs. Until next time, remember, the signs are always speaking. Are you listening?